So if the jinn says Shahada, how do we know that he's really Muslim? So we know he's really Muslim by two things. First, the Quran will not burn him anymore. So if the jinn says, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah, okay, leave me now, done Shahada. So we know it's wrong, because if he really did Shahada, the Quran will not be burning him anymore. So when he says that, we say, yeah, just keep reading Shahada, just keep reading Shahada. And we continue beating him and reading on him. The second thing is that the jinn is black. When he's kafir, he must turn into white. So when he says Shahada, we can ask him, how's your body? And if he says black or gray, we say, keep repeating Shahada till it becomes white, until it's become really white and shining. That's how we know that the jinn is really Muslim.
Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم ولا فهم لنا إلا ما فهمتنا إنك أنت الجواد الكريم.
As jinns are created from fire, this fire can become dark, can also become clear and white. So when they do evil, they become darker and darker. So jinns do not need fiqh and do not need fatwa. Whenever they do good, they become whiter. When they do bad, they become darker. So they know what is good and bad directly. And to one point, when they do good, they become so white, they become close to angels, and they will not need anything of dunya. They will just be feeding on dhikr and dua and ibadah, like the angels. Well, because jinns are created from fire and angels from nur, from light, so there is a proximity that the jinns can purify themselves until they become close to angels. That's what is called ruhan, like spiritual beings. Anyway, that's how it is. So this is why when he becomes Muslim, he must turn to white. And in the end, before releasing them, we'll read Allah Nur as-Samawati wal Ard until they get wings. So when they get wings through Nur, that means they are close to angels, and we hope they will not come back to kufr after that. So if we do catching and we find a jinn that has converted to Islam, that we have converted to Islam, and we sent to fight the magicians, and he's back to kufr. So what will we do? So we're going to apply the hadith, لا يلدغ المؤمن in جحر المرتين. The believer should not be poked by the same hole twice. So this jinn cheated us and betrayed us, and betrayed Islam, betrayed Allah Ta'ala, came back to kufr, so we're not going to give him a second chance. So immediately we read إِنَّ الْمُنَافِقِينَ فِي الدَّرَكِ الْأَسْفَلِ مِنَ النَّارِ until he dies. Or he really becomes Muslim, and even if he takes Shahada, we insist with the verse of Munafiqeen until we see that really the Quran is not burning him and it is finished, he's really a believer. Otherwise, if he dies, that's it, we just kill him. Because it is the Quran killing him, and we don't want to take a second chance with him, and that will also be an example for others. Now, in some cases, jinn will accept Islam, but he loves the patient so much that he's afraid to come back to the patient. And in that case, if a jinn is Muslim and white, but he falls in love with a woman or with a man, and he goes to stick on him for zina and to be with him, he's going to become black, he's going to lose his iman. Jinns are not like human beings that can be sinner and yet Muslim and making salah. They cannot, it's just one piece. So he cannot have a double personality like us. So when he goes back to sins, he loses his iman, even if he's called Muslim, but there's nothing of Islam left with him. So if the jinn himself is afraid that he might come back to the patient, he cannot guarantee, because he's been with him so much, loves him so much. So we tell him, okay, there is a solution. You're going to die and go to Jannah. And if he accepts this solution, we tell him to repeat, Ya Allah, show me all your light, show me all your power, and he's going to repeat it until he dies out of the light of Allah Ta'ala. Of course, he's going to die with Iman and go to Jannah. That will be a good solution for everybody, for him and for the patients. Now, when we are trying to train a catcher, we work on a patient that is possessed until the jinn makes Shahada and becomes white. there is a change that will happen in the person of the catcher, in his mind. That light will be there, will leave in effect in his mind, that any other jinn coming will see the light, and will see the light like a way out, as if you're in a dark room, you see nothing, then the door is very little open and there's light, so that shows you the way out. So this is why when you train a catcher, the first jinn to make him become Muslim is very difficult, can take hours and days of work, but after that it's become very much easier. The second will be much easier, the third will be much more easy, and after the fourth it will become automatic, that when they come they immediately accept Islam. So this is to remind me, to insist that when you are training a new person to become a catcher, you have to take your time to discuss with the jinn, to give him verses, to hit him, to listen to him, to answer to all his questions until he accepts Shahada, and you make sure he becomes white so that you can get a catcher. So if you don't have the patience and the understanding of this process, you'll never get a catcher, and you'll always think that jinns will not become Islam, will not become Muslim, and you just have to kill them. So when we have a new catcher, someone has become a catcher, we have to teach him two things. First is to catch on his own, because he can be in a situation where jinns are bothering him and there's no one to read on him. So he must be able to bring them, make them convert, take Shahada and go. Even if he cannot go into details, he cannot get information, etc. Sometimes he can, but at least he needs to be able to do it, to convert them and release them on his own. And the second thing we teach him is to kill the jinns himself. If he's attacked by a jinn and he's trying to convert him and he's not managing, so he must be able to put an end to the situation by killing the jinn. So he can kill him by slaughtering himself with his hand going like this and taking the intention of slaughtering him that way, or he can just hit his head on the side with the intention of cutting his head off, or any way that he finds suitable for him to kill the jinns. So when a new catcher doubts of what he sees, he says, is this right? Are the jinns really converting? What I am seeing, that the patient has this magic, is this true, or am I just imagining it? So this is normal that he goes through the doubts. It is a new sensation and he has doubts. Even Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he received the wahi, he had doubts. He said, is this shaitan making fun of me, driving me astray? So it is normal to have the doubts. So we know it is not his imagination, because he's not trying to make up a story to tell the people. He's not trying to do anything. So just coming there and he's seeing all that. So we just continue, the catcher must just continue until the doubts will go and he will know that that is really what he is seeing. Now when we catch, the intention of the catcher is very important. That means that if you want to catch for something but the catcher does not want, he wants to catch from something else, that is what's going to happen. So the intention of the catcher determines what jinns is going to come. That is what is bringing the jinns. Now if the catcher thinks that the jinns will not convert, it will be very difficult to convert them. If he believes that the jinns do not convert, they are liars, they are munafiqeen, that will make like a block in his mind, where that will stop the jinns coming to Islam. When they want as jinns to become Muslim, they will see in his brain, no, that's impossible. So they don't find, it will be very difficult to convert them. You see, as if, for example, if you don't believe in humans that have 3 legs, so if I tell you that, yes, I have my friend who's got 3 legs, you're going to look at me, Yani, what's this person talking about? Because you do not believe in these people who have 3 legs. So whatever I'm going to tell you, you think I am funny, I'm going crazy. You see? So that's how, in the mind of the person, if he does not believe jinns can convert, so when they try to convert, he says, no, he's lying. That's not true. And that will make it very difficult for jinns to convert. So it is very important that the catcher has a rahmah on jinns, and the desire to convert them, and the belief that they can convert very easily. So the more he has this rahmah and this open door for jinns to convert, even though they have been very satanic, they have done very much harm to him or to people, but you must know that they can convert very easily and become very good jinns. So when you open the door, you are showing them the way. You are showing them the rahmah of Allah and the benefit of Islam, and that all the evil they have done is going to be over. So that will make it much easier for them to convert. And if the catcher thinks that the only solution is to kill the jinns, so very probably that's what is going to happen, and there will be no way, no other solution but to kill the jinns. So if we kill the jinns excessively in the catching, so some people are like this, they just bring and kill. What is going to happen? More and more jinns will be coming to attack us, to take revenge on us, and the jinns will stop becoming Muslim. It will be more and more difficult to get them to become Muslim with this person, because they see how bad he is, how wicked he is, how much he hates them, how many jinns he has killed of them. So it will be very, very difficult that they convert to Islam, and the catching and the ruqya is going to come to a dead end. That means that we're going to be attacked so much, everything is going to block, everything is going to stop. So it is going to a dead end by killing jinns that way. So if that happened, ask Allah to forgive you, and ask Allah to bring back all the jinns you have killed by reading for Subhanallah, to convert them, and ask Allah Ta'ala to bring all the jinns that are angry, that want to take revenge on you, so that you convert them all, and that will be over. Now, if it happens that the jinn did not accept to become Muslim and we had to kill him, and that jinn was very resistant and very important, so we have to bring all his relatives, all his workers, his army, or whoever has any link with him, we have to bring them all to convert them, because anyway they're going to attack. They're going to attack to take revenge for him. So if a catcher just wants to catch for himself and his family, is that possible? It will not be possible, because to keep the breaches going, to keep the catching going, you have to catch regularly. And if you're just catching for your family, once you have done the catching, and then you can do after a week, 2 weeks, after some time, it will be finished, it will be over. So that is not enough to keep the catching going. That is it. So and it takes quite a bit of work to make someone catcher. So it is really not worth it to train a catcher just for his own self or for his own family. And if someone did catching and wants to stop being a catcher, is that possible? Yes. When you stop catching and you just wash with the water, oil, and use the hijama, the breaches will close and you come back to a normal person. Now, what is the vision? The vision is a way of catching, is that the jinns do not come into the catcher and do not speak to the catcher, but he sees them and he can communicate with them, and they will come and they will become Muslim and everything. So it works the same like the catching. There's no difference in efficiency and result. Just that the vision is easier for the catcher, because they don't come in his body, they don't speak, and the catching is more spectacular, is because we can see the jinns reacting and we can speak with them, but the result is the same. So, is it possible that someone that was never possessed becomes a catcher? The normal way is someone who's possessed will work on him to make him become a catcher, because that opening, it comes by magic and sihr, or by being hit with a jinn, maybe bar'ain. We cannot provoke it ourselves. But we had a few cases, very few cases, of raqis that asked Allah Ta'ala to become catcher until they suddenly became catcher. So it is possible that separation between him and the jinns will just suddenly burst and he will start catching jinns. And also some other raqis, because they are always confronted to jinns and to magic, that progressively created breaches and they started having vision and they ended up to become catchers. Now, what are the lists? So the lists in the work of Iblis, in the organization of Iblis, there is lists for everything. So for example, the magician, there's a list of the magician because they have pacts with Iblis and he has to provide them with jinns, he has to help them, shayateen must work with them. So all the people who do satanic cult, there's a list of them because they have become his friends, there's special attention. So all those, for example, who are da'i, who give dawah to Islam, there's a special attention that Iblis will work on them, not only to drive them astray like any human being or any Muslim, but also to create problems around them, to get them busy with the problems so they stop making dawah. So for example, there is a list of the munfiqeen, muhsinin, those who give money for the sake of Islam. So when Iblis knows that this person is using his money for the sake of Islam, he is going to try to create problems to block his money, so he will stop spending for Islam. So there's a list for anything, So for example, there's also a list for the patients for whom a human sacrifice has been made. And in that situation, the shayateen will come, extra shayateen, not working with the magician, will come to make sure that that person never gets cured. You see? So we are treating the person, we are removing the jinn that comes from the magician, and some extra shayateen come and to keep on making his illness to keep it ongoing, because there is that list. So when we discover a list, for example, we are treating a alim, a maulana, and we discover that some special shayateen are there to stop his work because he's doing a very good work for Islam. So we have to catch for all the lists. We ask for their boss, and so this alim has been targeted because he's doing a very good job for Islam. Who is in charge of this matter? And now we ask, you have a list, how many people are you in charge of breaking them because they are doing a very good job for Islam? He would say 100 or 1,000 or whatever. So now we get the jinns that are attacking all those people, or that are working for that boss. And when we have a head of the list, that means a jinn that is responsible of a list, we say, okay, you have other colleagues that have other lists for other different things. Yes, okay, let's get them all. And let's get all the jinns that work for all the lists. So whenever we manage to go, it's like you manage to go into a system and into a computer, so you might as well pump out the maximum of things you can pump out of that computer. That's how, once we have broken into something, so we have to clean it up totally, bi'idhnillah tabarak wa ta'ala. So what are the crowns? So this hadith, Ibn Hibban reports in his Sahih from Abu Musa al-Ash'ari that Rasulullah said, every morning Iblis sends his soldiers and says, whoever drives a Muslim astray today, I will make him wear the crown. When they come, and one says, I have tempted such person until he misbehaved with his parents, he says he will soon honor them. Another one says, I have tempted such person until he divorced with his wife, he says he will soon get married. Another one says, I have tempted such person until he drank wine, he says, you, yes you. Another one says, I have tempted such person until he killed, he says, you, yes you, and puts the crown on him. So this is a hadith, and this hadith has other versions, where another version is the one who provoked talaq that gets the crown. But anyway, there's this contest, and by interacting with jinns, we understood that the jinns that work with people, they don't go for the contest. They have a boss that they report on him. So those who go for the contest, they have plenty of jinns that are working for them, and they collect all the information, and that's how they go to present for the contest. Now, from experience, the jinns say that every day the contest is different. So every jinn will go once a year. So he's got 1 year to work and to gather and to present to the contest. And it will be different categories of jinns for different things every day. And the base of all this is in Bermuda Triangle. So I am giving you this information. So if you have any jinn working for shaitan, you have to go up until you get the one that goes for the contest, and now you try to empty all of that. Now, when you are doing ruqya, you have to catch for the center every day. Of course, if you get problems, people not coming, bad things happening in the center, you need to catch, but you must not wait for the problems to come to catch. You have to catch every day every night, every morning, every night you catch for all the jinns that are preparing to attack you, to attack your patients, that are not happy with what you are doing, that are speaking with the magicians, that you must stop these people. So all those who are plotting against us, we catch for them, and in the morning we catch for all those who try to attack us. So as in the day you are catching for the patients, from time to time you say, okay, let's get all the jinns that don't like our work, that are trying to attack us, to stop us, or that are spying on us or whatever. You have to do that regularly. Otherwise, you will find out that, for example, jinns have put a unit of shayateen next to your center and attack all the patients that leave the center so they don't get cured. And you're going to have these people coming to give trouble to the center because you have neglected the sketching, and now the problems have come to you. And when we program a new campaign, we say that next year we're going to such country or to do this. As soon as we start giving the name and the date for the campaign, we have to start catching, because the jinns will be, the shayateen will be aware of what we are doing, and they will start to do programs against us, and that can lead to trouble. So we have to start catching as soon as we prepare the campaign, and at each step, if we go for visa, if we book our flight, if we have contacts there, we have to catch for those contacts that are preparing for us. MashaAllah. Okay, now when we do jinn catching, that removes the jinns, that does not remove the magic. Even if we tell the jinns, look at the magic, and we read to destroy the magic until they say there's no more magic, that is just in the eyes of the jinns, on the jinns' word. We have to do the treatment ourselves. So never tell the patient that your magic is finished, that you don't need to do the treatment, that the jinn catching will be enough. We don't accept that. We don't accept that. If someone is like that, he's going out of our group, because the base of our treatment is still the water, the oil, the sana, and the cupping, and other things we do. So that is necessary to use it all the time. May Allah Ta'ala accept us and guide us. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Baiklah guys. Sampai di sini dulu perjumpaan kita. Website Syekh Abdurrauf bin Halimah ada di www.benhalimahabdurrauf.fr. Silakan bagikan video ini kepada orang-orang yang Anda sayangi. Semoga Allah Ta'ala berikan pahala melimpah kepada Anda. Tambahan dari saya sebagai admin pengisi dubbing video ini. Pesan untuk siapa saja yang terketuk hatinya untuk menerima Islam sebagai agamanya. Silahkan ucapkanlah 2 kalimat syahadat. Yaitu asyhadu alla ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. Masuk Islam itu sangat mudah dan dosa-dosa kalian sebelumnya akan dihapuskan seperti bayi yang baru lahir. Semoga bermanfaat. Mari kita tutup dengan doa kafarah majelis. Agar amal baik kita kekal sampai hari kiamat dan dosa-dosa kita diampunkan Allah Ta'ala. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika, asyhadu alla ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaika. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.